16 developers entered the Mad CSS bracket, 8 went home. If you missed it, be sure to check out the round 1 videos here on the channel, which show exactly how these 8 developers made it here today. Kyle and Julia, Chris and Scott, Kevin and Josh, and Wes and Adam. 8 coders, 4 battles, 1 trophy on the line. I'm CJ from Syntax. Welcome to March Mad CSS. First 2 rounds were a warm-up. Both sides of the bracket have been tested, and the ones who made it through are not messing around. But here's where it gets interesting, because this week the challenge changes. Every round 1 battle will use the same UI, same layout, same rules, everyone on a level playing field. The quarterfinals, same idea, but a whole new UI, a harder one.
I'm not ready for this.
The format you already know. 4 head-to-head battles, CSS and HTML only, 2 minutes to plan, 15 minutes to build. First to 100% or the highest score when the time is up moves on.
I'm gonna hit 100.
I believe in you. It's just gonna be after I get 100, so yeah, it's all good.
And this is what you're building.
All right, looking at this. Whoa, this one is definitely gonna use grid, 100%. We have fixed rows maybe, so we can have the overflow going on those.
One thing that's really interesting is that all the cards are kind of the same. They got the same border radius, they got the same box shadow, the same padding. I mean, this box shadow is going to be a pain to narrow down. That's probably the last thing I'm going to do because I don't think it'll change the percentages too much.
What else is weird? Any like tricky, the hell is this image here? Should that be a background image? It's an image tag, boy.
The pull quote is the thing that catches my eye at first, where that's going to be a little bit interesting. I'll either do that with a float or with absolute positioning. I'm already thinking that's going to be where I spend some time making very small adjustments.
I'm going to beat Kyle, and for this purpose, I'm going to use something super stupid, not like position absolute, but something super similar to this.
So we've got a bento grid, 2 rows, got firm sizes.
Yeah, I mean, it's obviously just a grid. That should be fairly simple to describe in CSS. I can describe that in a CSS grid easily. Little gaps, little box shadows on each of the things, different colors.
So the avatars need to get clipped, border radius, they have images.
8 players left, only 4 move on. The quarterfinals start now. First up, Chris versus Scott. Left side of the bracket, quarterfinal number 1. Let's see who survives.
All right, is it actually a white background? Yeah, that's fine. We'll do the padding 10 pixels here, push it in a little bit. We're gonna have a grid, a container, and so let's see the HTML. 1, 2, they're all just testimonials, and there's exactly 4 of them. So it's the container itself that is the grid, right? So display grid is what we need. Well, let's just do it 3 by 3, I guess, and they look equal to me. So we'll say grid template columns, and I think we'll just go repeat 3-1FR for sure.
We can see Chris is pretty cool, calm and collected. He identified right away this is a CSS grid, and that is the intended solution, right? You've got some interesting layout here where you have an element extending across 2 rows. You have some elements only taking up 1 column. This is a perfect use case for CSS grid.
Grid, template, rows. No, we want 1FR, 1FR, 1FR.
And we can see Scott immediately jumping in. He set up the grid. He set up 2 rows, 3 columns. That's what you need. This is how to do it. We can see over on Chris's side, same thing, but with a little more interesting syntax. He's using that repeat function, but they set it up the same way. 2 rows, 3 columns.
Ah, crap. Chad's is a little bit more complicated, isn't it? Do I have a class just for Mr. Chad? I'm gonna give a class called the Chadster on this one in case we need to do something extra special with Chad.
Yeah, and Chris adding some CSS classes to the HTML, totally legal play. It's gonna make it easier for him to target the things that he wants, so that's totally fine.
Copilot's actually helping me here. Brenda's number 2, I think. Brenda, 3 to -1, -1. Her row, grid row, needs to be 1 to 2. Oh yeah, thank you, Brenda.
Yes, and I like to see what Scott's doing here. So now he has the grid. He's placing each of the testimonials into the specific grid spots. So you can see that first testimonial spans across 2 columns. And then the next one only spans across a single column, but 2 rows. So that's what he's setting up here with grid column and grid row.
The Chadster specifically has this, it's got a, what is the command to make it grid column starts at 1 and ends at 3. Is that going to kick Chad over? Oh, heck yeah, it's going to.
There we go. Chris, he's got things lined up perfectly. You can see Chad's in the right spot. He's positioned these in the right spot. It's looking good. It doesn't look as good as Scott's, but looking back over at Scott's, this is fantastic, right? He's dialed in the height of these rows. Everything's in the right spot, right? We've got a 73% match with 10 minutes left to go. This is looking really good for Scott and his nerves.
Maybe we should do all the colors quick. We'll call the Brenda stir, the Gary stir. I love people named Gary.
All right, now Scott's working on the alignment of this double quote. And this is nothing crazy. It's just gonna be fixed position inside of the container, resizing that quote and getting it into the top right corner so that it appears in the right spot.
I don't know if I'm getting cocky here, but I feel like I'm doing really well. But at the same time, I'm concerned.
I think that should just pop into place, and that's going to remind us that we're going to need... Oh, look at, we squished her head a little bit. We'll have to fix that. That's funny. It's because Flexbox is just winning, and it's be like, no, too bad.
So Chris is gonna need to dial in the width and the height on these elements, right? These elements have an automatic height, so unless you dial in the height, you're gonna get that weird stretching. So they need width and height. Let's see if he can pull it out.
Okay, align items top. I want to align items top. Align items flex start. Oh, okay, that's pretty good, but the font size is not right. What is different about... Oh, man, the diff is brutal. The font size on mine is too small. 15. Diff. Dead on, baby.
Yeah, there we go. Scott found the 15 pixel font size. Yeah, and Scott has just passed 90%. This is looking really good for him. But the game isn't over yet, folks. We have 3.5 minutes left. Chris, it's ever so slightly off as well. So just the most minor adjustments are going to see some changes in this overall percentage score.
Is my Chad too big? I think it is. What size is it supposed to be? Font size 15 pixels? Oh, that smooshed it down. Ooh, that went a long way, didn't it?
Only 2 minutes left. 90% match for Scott. Chris has a 79%. This game can be decided in the last 30 seconds. And Scott just jumped up to 92%. Let's see if he can keep it. Yeah, 91.75, and Chris at 81.79.
Now all of a sudden, mine needs a margin bottom of like something like 3 pixels, but not margin. Oh yeah, baby. Oh yeah. Line height is still not correct, and if I adjust this line height, it's gonna throw everything else off.
Yeah, Scott has misspelled margin bottom twice now.
I have to go HTML, body, height, 100%.
Yeah, this is so close. 15 seconds left. Let's see if Chris can push it over 90% in these last 10 seconds.
95, 99%. So close. Did that hurt my percentage overall?
No, this pushed Chris to 81%. Yeah, this was brutal. You both were
CJ.
so close. Like, this is...
I wasn't close. I was nowhere near. I got
really lucky that I remembered the grid row and grid column. I was panicking because I couldn't remember that syntax. I was just like, what is it? What is it? And I tried it and it just worked. And I was like, okay.
I had that same moment where I'm like, what is it again? Like, is it just column or?
Great job, Chris. Oh my God.
Likewise. That was fun. Thanks for having me. And I look forward to watching the final video.
And Scott takes it. Chris is out, and nobody saw that coming. Less than 2% of you thought Scott would win. And now Scott moves on to face either Kyle or Julia. What's that? Yes. Oh, I'll absolutely let them know that this video is brought to you by Sentry. Just like everywhere else, we got to pay the bills around here. This video, the series, the podcast, every video we put out on YouTube, brought to you by Sentry. Head over to sentry.io/syntax to learn more. They are application monitoring software considered not bad by millions of developers. So definitely check them out. We'd really appreciate it. All right, back to the video. Kyle and Julia. One of them ends their run here. Let's find out who. And we're off. I personally could not pick or predict a winner. This is going to be completely up in the air. Both Julia and Dev Simplified, very seasoned in CSS battles. They've been doing this for years.
I'm gonna do this thing, and now I need padding, something about this. Looks fine.
Yeah, and we see Julia already locking in some color, and we learned that this diffing algorithm really takes into account color. So she's already at 49% match just by locking in a color here.
And I think I need to specify my grid template columns. This is going to be 1 FR, 3 times. And grid template rows is just going to be 1 FR twice. There we go. Copy this down. So our right one is right, bottom is bottom, middle is middle. Let me make sure I got my classes correct. TM, TB, TR, TT.
Yeah, and I like to see that Kyle is immediately jumping into CSS Grid. This is the correct solution, right? We have 3 columns, 2 rows. The way that Kyle is working this out is with grid template areas, right? He gets to actually give them names, top right, bottom middle right, and then for each of the testimonials, he's going to be able to place those in the grid.
Flex with gap, and also we have avatar, and it should be super small, 50 pixels, maybe, yes.
Julia's taken a different approach here, right? Instead of setting up the grid first, she's really just locking in the avatar sizing, locking in the text sizing.
Each one of these has their own background, I guess. So we'll say that this one has a background color. Let's see what color that is. That is blue, or it looks like it's navy.
Yeah, and we can see there once Kyle locked in that color, 2 colors, we're up to 64%. Once he locks in those bottom 2 colors, we're gonna see that bump up again. We're gonna probably be looking at 70-80%. Yeah, and this is the crucial error, setting up margin. You can see that when he set the margin, it pushed the cards off the page.
I'm gonna just write pixels for this, I don't know. You can see child 1 should be background color for navy. Also, it should be testimonials container. It's a grid area. I don't remember how to write grids.
Yeah, and we see Julia maybe not so familiar with CSS Grid because she's actually locking in fixed widths for these testimonials. This could work for her if she finds the exact widths, but the purpose of CSS Grid is to automatically give you those widths once you've set up the layout. So if she can lock in the widths exactly, this is actually going to be incredible to see.
We'll change this to be a display of flex. There we go, because I want to have my content. So we have avatar and then we have info. Okay, yeah, so align those items in the center, .info, and inside the info we have name and title. So we'll just go with name here. Let's see, we need to change that to be bold. And the font size on that is maybe 20 pixels. Actually looks a little big. Yeah, it's definitely too big. Let's try 10 pixels. Way too small. So we will try 15 pixels.
Yeah, and we can see over on Kyle's side, his images are stretched a little bit, but now he's starting to lock in the font sizes of the person's name and their title.
We need to have our quote info, I think is what it's called. Or no, it's full. Font size on that is 15 pixels. There we go. That is perfect. Oh, it has an inner box shadow too. That's just mean. That is just mean.
The bottoms of his testimonials, for some reason, are extending just a little bit too far.
I have 5 more minutes, and this is my solution. So I'm gonna play with grid from here, and I'm gonna have...
Yeah, so Julia reaching for the dev tools with 5 minutes remaining. Perfect play, right? We saw her maybe start to panic a little bit. She collected her thoughts, and she's going to figure out why are these things not in the right spot, right?
Yeah, margin is definitely not there. Let me just inspect the element here and see what's going on.
Yeah, Kyle reaching for the dev tools as well with 4.5 minutes remaining. This is what you have to do when you're so close to getting 100%. You really have to start dialing things in the dev tools here.
Grid area A, this one is B, and this one is C, and this one is D, but it's not working. Things, okay. Looks good.
There we go. Julia has locked in her grid. That's brought up to 79%.
There's definitely something about this spacing that I just cannot get for the life of me. We'll just narrow this down. 185, 185. That gives us the correct, oh my gosh, that actually is the correct spacing. Okay, that's the worst CSS I've ever written in my entire life, but we're definitely
She's got him in the right spot with only 1 minute left, 89% match. Wow. Yeah, and Julia's is looking really good. I think it's just a matter of the font sizing, right? The font sizing of the body text needs to be brought down a few pixels. That would actually bump her up. I don't think it's gonna get her to 96%, maybe higher than like 90, but she does need to dial in the font size of the body text on those cards there. Oh no, she's changed the color with only 30 seconds left. Let's see if she can fix it. Yeah, and Kyle with a 96% match, 20 seconds left. Let's see if he can figure out this box shadow.
Mine's like almost too dark. Theirs is more spread out than mine.
Yeah, 10 seconds left. What can Julia do in these last 10 seconds?
5 pixels. There we go. That pushed our box shadow. The correct push.
I think she's given up.
Missing the inner
she's
box
given
shadow.
up for
Honestly,
the last 10 seconds.
Those are the worst. That was tough. The box shadow was diabolical. I can't believe you guys did that.
Yeah. Really close battle. Like, if you look at this final result here, like, you're so incredibly close. It's just a matter of, I think Julia had the wrong sizing on the testimonial card for the body text. Need to be brought down a little bit. It's so close. Unfortunately, Julia, this is the last we'll see of you in this year's Mad CSS, but definitely please come back next year. We're going to do this again.
I would like to try it one more time.
And Kyle moves on. Julia's tournament is over. The left side of the bracket is set. Kyle versus Scott in the semifinals. But first, the right side has to settle things. Wes versus Adam. Let's go.
All right, let's hit the ground running. Here we go. Let's switch this to the HTML and let's see what we got going on here. So our container is containing the testimonial, all the testimonials. So I can start doing my display grid here.
Now, listening to their planning phase, I think they both have a good plan, right? Set up this grid, set up the background colors, and then go from there, right? That's going to honestly get you a really high match percent already. You can see that literally Wes just setting the color to blue on everything already got him to 73%.
Okay, so now we're going to take Brenda. I don't know which one. Brenda's the second one. So we'll say like, and nth child 2. And it's going to be a grid, grid row span 2.
Okay, testimonial. We need nth child 2.
Yeah, and we see Wes using nth child. Other players have specified or added new CSS selectors for those elements. Yeah, and Adam doing the same thing using nth child. This is probably the quickest so that we don't have to add a new class name in the HTML and add it in your CSS file.
Man,
this is
I'm
actually
at 70%
crazy to see.
already. I'm hitting 100%
Yeah,
for
70%
sure.
for Wes.
Hitting 100%.
This,
okay.
like 2 minutes into the match.
All right, Brenda.
Display flex. I saw that align items is not in the center. We do have a gap. And then the child of, so the info is going to be display grid. No. Okay, whatever. Who cares? Yeah, we'll just do that. 5 pixels. I prefer grid windsurf, but I'm just kind of going with the flow right now. Hey, Wes is doing pretty good over there. That's annoying.
Okay, so I'm taking a look at the diff view over in the ref view, and we can see, I mean, these diffs look good, right? There's just a little bit of a positioning that needs to happen in terms of where things go on the page. I guess that's CSS. I don't know why I'm saying that, but you can see it from the diff here. The red areas are the ones that are not in the right spot yet, and that just has to do with Wes's gap. And you can see the same thing happening on Adam's side. So really just looking at the diff, these two are both, look, 75.58, 75.5, still with 11 and a half minutes left in the battle.
Border radius, 100%. It's probably 50.
Now, I'm seeing some very weird issues.
That's the right size.
With the avatars on Wes's side. They're long-faced, and I do believe he needs to dial in the width and the height on those avatars if he wants to get those lined up. I think it just so happens the aspect ratio, the sizing of those other 2 testimonials, they've got it in the right spot.
We've got a gradient fade out at the bottom here. I might have to do a mask. Let's do a box shadow on our testimonial. Is that the container? Yeah, it's the testimonial container. That's not what I want. I want X, Y. It's darker than this. It's going to be 30%, something like that, maybe 50.
Yeah, and we can see Adam dialing in this box shadow manually. There actually is a CSS variable set up that has the color of the box shadow.
Oh no, what happened to Brenda? Brenda's head is squished. Oh no, where's my image width? I bet the height has to just be explicitly set. That's a quick trick. Brenda, you're looking good. Oh, look at the back. Why is my box shadow so messed up? Okay, let's shoot. What do I?
This is so close, Wes.
What do I do next?
Locking in the size of Brenda brought him to 95. Look at this diff, folks. Wes's diff, almost solid black.
Font size, I don't know, 50 pixels. Let's see, Smart Quote Unicode. Smart Quote, where are you, Smart Quote?
And unfortunately, Adam is creating his own quote. He didn't realize that in the source HTML, there is just a quote image. You don't have to identify the font. You can just reposition that image. So he's gone off, and you can see that's why his quote looks a little bit different.
Nailed it. Okay, 99.68%. So I'm simply just missing whatever is causing the text to fade out. It's got to be an inset box shadow. Or I don't know if I want to mask it. I have a minute left.
Oh, it's this one. Give it to me out of that. No, I don't want that direction. I want the other direction. Come on, give me the... I'll just take this whole thing. Okay, pop it out in here. Get rid of that. That's probably going to shift my positions around a little bit. Yep, and my font size. Oh, 1 minute. I feel the heat. I feel the heat. It's on like Donkey Kong. Okay, like, here, let's do this view. Oh, shiza. I do have typography issues. Again, look at the letter spacing is off. They did a thing. It was me. Mine is different than theirs.
I'm not going to do it. I'm just going to sit here. I'm going to win it.
Yeah, 15
What's
seconds
Adam
left.
at?
Looks like
Can
Wes
we
is taking the right
system
route. Just
UI?
let it lock in because Adam
This looks
only at
good.
You have when you
87%.
did this. I don't think that's it.
Come on.
Okay, I think it's just time for me to bail with like what I got here. How much? What is our percentage? Did I win? Hot diggity, dude! You did great. Where's that quote? Tell me the
It's-
quote
okay.
right now. Where'd you get the little quote
If you
symbol?
look at, I don't
It was
guess you
an
can't see the-
image.
it's an image in the HTML.
Oh, son of a bitch.
Were you trying to like recreate it with CSS?
He found a really close
Well, I
font.
was using a Unicode character.
Yeah.
Oh man,
yeah.
give
Well, there's a
give
font
the
that's
guy
like
props for using
Yes.
a Unicode character.
Please. Please. A huge upset. 28% of you thought Adam would win the entire tournament. But with that, Wes advances and Adam's tournament is over. Wes will face either Kevin or Josh. In that battle, it's next.
All right, so container, you are going to be display grid.
Let's also add a margin of 10 pixels on there. That's looking better. That's all testimony. Oh, you know what I'm going to do for now? We're going to do a grid template rows as well. Grid template rows of 1FR, 1FR, because they look equal. All right, we're rocking and rolling.
All right, we're off. The battle of the Canadians, Josh versus Kevin. This is going to be a really close battle. We saw the really high scores from Josh and Kevin in round one. This is the battle of the Titans.
Border radius of 100 VW. That's close, but it looks like my padding is off by a bit there. It was maybe 15. Oh, perfect. Oh, and my images are the right size. The name is really close too. So author, then that's the title. Is that just title? Just title. Author. Title will be a display block.
So like right away, I'm a little confused because my container is set to be 400 pixels tall. It is 400 pixels tall, but it's way taller than the body. So that's like if I make you 200, then you're cut off. Okay, so the grid is the right height. Like that tells me that the grid is the right height.
Yeah, and we see Josh struggling a little bit with the grid layout. Now, this actually has to do with where he set his grid template rows, right? He set them to 2 fraction, but you have to lock them in with the exact height if you want them to be contained within that container.
Oh, it's font size. Font size is 15 pixels. I probably should have set this everywhere. Nope, that didn't do it either. Okay, we might take that one off then, or is it that with some letter spacing? This is gonna drive me nuts. No. Okay, let's just take both of those off for now. We're gonna quote snippet is, and we had the quote full. Why is mine so different? Font size 15 pixels? Oh, okay, that's bang on. Nice.
I guess I can put some padding on this container. Okay, your grid row 1, and your grid column, let's just say you should be like span 2. That is like truly bizarre that my grid container is the right height. The grid children are spanning way beyond that. And there's like no other way to do this than CSS grid. So it's not like I can switch to Flexbox for this. Let's say, forget 1FR, 200 pixels, 100 pixels. Okay, thank God.
There we go. So Josh has identified you have to set a fixed height on those grid template rows, right? And you could calculate those fixed pixels, or you could use percentages here.
Josh has it, and I don't. I'm freaking out right now. Why are my sizes wrong?
Yeah, and unfortunately, we see a very similar error here that Kevin has as Chris Coyier. Whenever you set the margin or the padding on the body, it's gonna essentially extend past this viewport that's visible here. And so that's why his Brenda is cut off and his Linda is cut off on the right side.
All right, Chad is looking good. His name is 1 pixel too tall, but that's probably because the title needs to be its own. We'll set you to display block, so you move to the next line. We'll set your font size to 10 pixels. The text still seems a little big. It needs to be italic. Mine is too high up and needs to move further down. I wonder if this is a Flexbox alignment thing. Okay, I don't have time to worry about that.
And this is looking good for Josh. He's bumped up to 60%. I'd want to see him set the background colors of these testimonials, because that's actually going to jump him up to probably 70% match.
I'm gonna lose this. Okay, lock in, Kevin. Testimonial, nth child, 2, grid template row, grid row, span 2. Oh crap, 1FR, 1FR. Grid template columns, I need 3 columns. Maybe that was the problem from the beginning.
Now, colors. I need, what are the colors? The blue, the dark blue, which I guess we're calling navy. Chad. Where's Chad? Where are you, Chad? Background navy? Yep, that looks right.
Let's get some of my colors set up so I feel better, even though it's not really gonna help. The first one, Nth Child 1, my background is the navy. The second one is a background that is purple, plum, purple.
Yeah, and Kevin locking in those colors now because, like I said, seeing that progress bar from your opponent really plays with your nerves.
That's interesting. The fact that there is this slight gradient on the text. I think what I'm going to do for that is a pseudo element.
Yeah, and Josh has identified this tiny little bit, right? There's a little bit of gradient on the bottom area, and this was, is added by me just to make things a little more interesting.
Oh my god, I got destroyed. I'm just lost right now. I made a stupid mistake along here somewhere. What did I do wrong?
96% match. He actually might take this over Kevin. Looking at these two diff views, clearly Josh is much, much closer. Yeah, and hopefully Kevin doesn't throw in the towel. Only 20 seconds left. Let's see if he can pull it out.
Author I have 17 seconds. Author is display flex. If that's display flex, the image, I did an aspect ratio of 1. Turn that off.
Is that better or worse?
I think I fixed...
That is
yeah,
better.
Josh just jumped up to 97%.
I mean, that's still not right, but at least it's better.
And that's what he needed to take the game, and that's it, folks. That was close. It was very close. That was
Oh my goodness.
Kevin, I thought you were, I spent the first half of that not able to get my grid in the right spot. And, you were, it looked like you were almost done. And I was still, half of my place things were in the wrong order.
I had one problem that I couldn't solve, and it just completely flustered me. And
well, that's how it tends to go. In a way, I was lucky that my train wreck was in the first half, because then once I figured that out, I still had 7 minutes. And I was like, okay, all hope is not lost.
Unfortunately, Kevin, we won't see you in the next round, but hopefully we'll see
right.
you. Yeah, the next time we do this. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Let me know if ever you're doing it again. I'll be happy to be there.
Another upset. 18% of you picked Kevin to win it all. But that wraps up the quarterfinals. Kyle, Scott, Wes, and Josh, you're moving on to the semifinals. Julia, Chris, Adam, and Kevin, your tournament ends here. 4 developers left. 2 battles stand between them and the final. No more warm-ups. No more second chances. This is March Mad CSS.